You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM. You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Sometimes I just get angry when I see somebody watch an ex-man achievement and declare that was easy. They don't see all the struggle and all the failure. They quickly form allegiance to toast the winner. But in this life, there's a truth, and every tree you see have a root. And it's from way below the surface you bring up your food. Now Thomas Edison, the light bulb inventor, his 2,000 times he failed before the bulb could light. And when he reached age 67, a fire cost him 2 million. That's when the studio burned to the ground one December night. But he stood strong, faithful to his craft, and 3 weeks later released his first phonograph. You see, he had the stuff great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. I say he had the stuff great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. Okay, Shaki. They say that pressure, it does make diamonds out of rock. And it's the same with the human character. When our dreams are dumbstruck in a jail, 2 men looking out through the same bars. One will fail cause he see mud while the other sees stars. You see, while pressure humbles the meek, it strengthens who earnestly seek. It's the barometer that measures the strong. Because Martin Luther and South Africa Nelson Mandela, the darkness in their jail cell couldn't dim their lights. And civil rights advocacies only fuel more energies. For the more injustice rages, the more they fight. And for 27 years, Nelson Mandela suffered. And from jail became president of South Africa. You see, Nelson had the stuff that great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. Potential, I say he had the stuff that great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look
This is Caribbean Vibes. This is Caribbean Vibes.
Check any success story, take anyone you wish, and you'll see the road is often littered with blocks and rubbish. But as you clear one hurdle, you will meet another. And as you lift one burden, you'll hit an next gutter. You see, while your progress is slow, your determination must grow. Just affirm and confess the success you already know. Don't you know Elvis Presley was fired by Jimmy Denny? After just one show, he was told, go back and drive truck. And the great Beethoven of music, imagine he was deaf at 46, but that's when he produced his greatest musical stuff. And the great Caruso stood firm by his choice, although his teacher told him you can sing and you have no voice. But he had the stuff. Great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. Oh, he had the stuff. Great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. Yeah, Shaki.
It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. So sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who have the real loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me, man. You know this struggle sometimes. Cover me out, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover, cover, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover, cover, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover, cover, cover. Cover me. Cover me. Cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's in the village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Warsheet, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. And ladies and gentlemen, as soon as you get in, don't forget, do your civic duty, your WZYE civic duty. Share the live, WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook. Subscribe, WZYE TV and YouTube. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444. And this is how we start the thing.
It have our place, WZYE. where they treat you like friends and family. So if you're looking for a place to belong, going WZYE, you could come along. If you have haste, come with me. We do have dad on WZYE, Santa Meditate.
Of course, that's the resident love doctor himself, Rani Muhammad.
Welcome to WZYE TV 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. And on Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. on Let's Talk Politics. Like, share and subscribe to keep up to date with reality affecting your life. And as we always say, we bring the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Of course, that's the man himself, Caribbean Soul. Yeah, man, he coined that.
You're tuned to WZYE, the heartbeat of unfiltered truth. We're more than a station, we're a movement, grounded in facts, driven by integrity, committed to progress. We don't chase headlines, we create them. Decoding politics and current affairs to question power, not cozy up to it. From Laventille to Scarborough, whether you're in your living room or your commute, this is where perspectives collide, divides dissolve, and tomorrow's conversations start today. WZYE, we originate, not imitate.
I tell you, and we really absolutely do mean that. We do mean that. We originate, we don't imitate. And of course, when you come into the village, this is what we do.
Fire! 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 Fire!
Yeah. And we bring the fire, But folks, we always say to you that we don't just talk the talk and walk the walk. We also audio the talk too. Yes, we audio the talk. Yeah, that's a new one. We audio the talk. So take a listen to our pledge to you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, the world, what we bring to you.
Ansam LeBon and Marshall Nesbitt solemnly swear to conduct this radio program in a true, fair, and balanced manner, ensuring that all perspectives are given equal consideration and that the information presented is objective and unbiased. We pledge to provide a platform where diverse voices can be heard, fostering open and constructive dialogue that serves the best interests of our audience and community. Our commitment is to uphold the principles of journalistic integrity and ethical broadcasting throughout the duration of this program. Thank you.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We do mean that. We do mean that. Let me bring in my pal, the man himself, the young man, Uncle Tommy. Tommy, how are you going?
Good evening, Professor Wall Street. I'm going fine. I'm going fabulous. And yourself, how are you doing today?
I can't complain at all. I'm going wonderfulicious. I use that one. Wonderful.
Well, I know today's your day off, so you didn't run today.
Nah, I run today. I did 5 miles today.
Oh,
today was one of them days. I went out and I did 5 miles in about 36 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I try a little thing today.
Well, you did better than try.
Today was a good day. Tommy, but let me start off. I want to go out on a limb here, Tommy. I'm going out on a limb earlier. And I hope I don't get in trouble for this.
Hope you're not too heavy for that limb.
Eh?
Hope you're not too heavy for the limb.
I want to go out on a limb. I have a feeling Mr. Atlanta go call tonight.
Okay.
I just had a feeling. And I wanted to express that feeling. Yeah. I'm going to express that feeling. So, first in the village tonight was, hey, look, VS boy. He said, ooh.
Yes, VS beat them.
Yeah, and he liked the boast, you know, whap, whap, short-lived to see the least. You know, VS, you had to try to make it at least 2 in a row, 3 in a row. You know what I mean? It can be a little short thing, you know, Tommy? A small thing. You know, just go. Hey, look, Batman was in next, boy. Batman, welcome. Whoa, so early. Yeah. That's how early I put that thing up, boy. Really? Okay, I forget, yes. I forget. Keyshawn, boy. Good afternoon, Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy and to everyone. Boy, they relegate Mr. Intellectual to far back, boy. Mr. Intellectual, boy. He going back, boy. Blessed evening, Pro Uncle T and all villagers. Hope you all had a tremendously blessed and productive day. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, will you get in? Blessed evening, bro. Yeah, you get in. Miss Santa Cruz. Good night, Washington and Uncle Tommy. Tommy, Miss Santa Cruz did come first one time, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Miss Santa Cruz one and done, boy. You know that? Tommy, you know that I don't think they say one and done.
Yep.
You gotta back that up, Miss Santa Cruz. Good night to my friends in the village chat. Showing
Mr.
Tommy. Hey, look, brother Showing, boy. Brother Showing, welcome. Shalom, looking forward. Remember, there's a spiritual, biblical, and prophetic understanding to all that's taking place in the political, financial, and social world. Brother Showing, a special welcome to you. Yeah, Bishop Showing, boy. Yeah, from I think Showing was from Lavantil too, you know. I ain't sure now. I think so. Yeah. Monica Ramki soon welcome. Monica says, good night, worship Uncle Tommy and all in the village. Yeah. Semantic 62 welcome. Tommy, we ever asked how the 62 get on the end there?
I don't know. I don't know if it's 1962 for independence or if he's 62 years old or if he,
But why you saying is that he?
well, they are, whoever they are.
Here we go. Semantic 62. How did 62 get on the end? Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, and you see, look, Monica say 62. All right. Damian Anton Vincent, boy. Good evening, Professor Warshid, Uncle Tommy, and viewers. Yeah. Damian says, don't forget, share the live, folks. Share the live and subscribe to WZYE TV. Correct is right. Pull Sammy, boy. Pull with the two same last name, boy. Middle and last name. Bless good night, Professor Warshid, Tommy, and everyone in live. Sharon Bernard. My bad. I just really
Bennett.
today with you. Yeah. Caribbean Soul, good night, WZYE TV and listeners. Hey, look, Ban Meha.
Banmena.
No, it's in Ban Meha.
It's Banmena.
Oh, so that is a threat or what? Eh? Ban Mena?
I don't
Right?
know. Banmena.
Yeah, Ban Mena. Yeah. Yeah. My beautiful OGs. What is that? And Monica? What OGs? What is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Sometimes Ban Mena does. Sometimes Ban Mena write something. I might have to get Gordon Joseph to translate that, yes?
Hmm.
Full Sammy said, bless good night, Professor Washington and Tommy and everyone on the live. Yeah.
Same to
Lucky Lal,
you.
welcome. Huh?
Same to Pearl.
Yeah. Pleasant good night, Professor Wall Street, Uncle Tommy, and all you wonderful people.
Some audio coming in already.
Cool Runner. You think Cool Runner used to run?
You never could tell.
Cool Runner, how you get that? How you put runner at the end there? How that come up? Just asking, I like to know. Video welcome. Wall Street and Uncle Tommy, good evening. Orange in the house. Yeah, boy. You know video from Orange? Huh?
Yep.
But some people might say she from East Orange, West Orange, or South Orange.
From Orange proper.
Orange proper, yeah. Imagine that. They have a Orange, East Orange, South Orange, West Orange. They don't know North Orange.
No, not Orange.
They just have Orange.
Orange, East Orange, West Orange, North, South Orange.
Yeah.
East, West, South, and Orange.
Yeah. Emraj, welcome. You know, what? Banmeha? What you just be talking? Anyway. Good night, Washington and Uncle Tommy. Hope you had a wonderful day today. Yeah, we had a wonderful day.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Banme, I want to talk about Trump and tariff. Man, we have a country to run, you know. Patricia Pancho, God continues blessings to everyone on the live. Yeah. Vishnu, welcome. A pleasant good night, Mr. Washington and Uncle Tommy. Not forgetting all the good people in TNT. Have a safe and blessing. Yeah. Yeah, KFC, you're inside. I tell KFC stay by the Wi-Fi, you know. I tell him he inside and he going.
You don't want to be inside.
Yeah. Lucky Lad say, how long now black man have to keep on jamming? Apparently they didn't get the message in the song, but party and wind down to the song. Because all they heard was black man have to keep on jamming. And you know, Lucky Lad just say that, eh? Tommy, you read the story with who we gonna have at the top of the hour with Selwyn, Melville, and the Soca.
Yes, yeah, Mr. Melville.
You know, boy, them people and them boy. You know, that's why I just play that song, you know.
You see the pickle that Martin George got himself into.
I'll go I feel sorry for him, man.
Someone, I can't even believe that he's in that state. I kind of want to believe like somebody set him up or something.
Yeah, boy. Them thing and them ain't easy, you know, boy.
Because he's not of that.
I don't know, boy. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Joan, welcome. Good night, everyone watching from Florida. Emerche cover Kamala, dear Lord, from the detractors. Banma, Kamala needs to tell her position on bricks.
With red blocks or concrete blocks?
Maybe concrete. Oh God. No, Banma, we can't play that. KFC, welcome.
Hi, good night, Mr. Washington Tommy, man.
Good night, man.
Same
What's happening?
to you, bro.
They are celebrating life today because they merge strong.
Hey.
Happy. Today's the 10th.
Happy it's strong, man.
One day after Sparrow.
Yeah, you're close to Sparrow.
Yeah, close to Sparrow. Sparrow was yesterday. Today's my son. I think next month 91.5 birthday.
Who's that?
Iwa.
Hey, Iwa birthday too, right?
I think it's 11th or the 12th. Very cancer month.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
I came back here drinking all the bathing, putting all the piece of cake and enjoying my life, you know, boy.
Yeah, man.
I take any good program, man.
Yes.
Happy it's strong, bro.
Send me a virtual piece of cake there.
All right, say no more. Bless.
Happy it's strong, KFC. May you live as long as you want and never want as long as you live.
Correct is right. Robin says, good night, listeners. Uncle Tommy, Professor Walsh, locked on from British Virgin Islands, boy. Tommy,
BVI.
Hey, boy. Tommy, BVI, nice. Good. You know, she tell me the name of the beach, boy. What's the name of the beach again, boy? Virgin Gorda. Yes.
Virgin Gorda.
Tommy, boy, you know, that is the beach, boy. Yeah. Gordon Joseph says, good evening to the village. Hope that you had a real good day, that you and your family and friends. God are pleased with you. If not, he can help you fix anything. Patricia Pancho says, praying God's blessing over our Prime Minister Kamala and the cabinet and all the haters. You know, Banmeha says, so much nations import food from India. India have infrastructural issues making food export risky. Okay. Okay. Clinton Williams, boy, welcome. Professor Warshik and Uncle Tommy, good night, brother. Good night to you.
Good night.
Daryl Ali, blessed evening to everyone. Yeah. Indra, Alias Ga. All right, whatever. Sorry, Indra. I would just say Indra. Indra, welcome. I would just say Indra. Gail, welcome. Gail Rasmine. Well, let's say hello to Gail. Gail, I think Gail new here.
Welcome to the village, Gail.
Yeah, welcome to the village, Gail. I think Gail new. Yeah. Sensible. I think Sensible been here before. Good evening, everyone. Kevin George, welcome. Sensible, yes, you're right, you know. Banmeha is a typical PNM, always deflecting from real issues. You don't want to discuss, you know, Tommy, I have to give them PNM and them credit, you know. But Tommy, before we go, I want to play this as Sensible said that. Let me run through this here real quick. I want to play something. Our Ginger, welcome. Pleasant good night, Professor Warshik and Uncle Tommy.
Pleasant good night to you, Ginger.
Good evening, Wall Street. And you, Tommy, did you hear Munira said that the former government signed a contract in January 2025 and will lose 7 million annually in the energy sector? You know, just short I have that lineup to play. All right. Yeah, he come back with this BRICS nonsense. Yeah. I think that brick must hit Bandman, yes. I think they take that brick, Tommy, and hit Bandman in the head.
You can never could tell.
Farmer Kane, good night. Yeah, I feel so.
Good night, Farmer Kane.
Yeah, Farmer Kane. Yolanda Cordner, boy. Yolanda, welcome.
Welcome. How is Tobago today?
Well, yeah, 7 billion TT. 1 billion US. That's where we almost lost. Well, I guess we kind of lose it, but we kind of get it back. But Tommy, I wanted to play something, Let me see if I have it here. I want you all to listen to this, I'm going to play something because the president was saying that the attack on her, it's possibly because she's a female, right? But I want to say to the president, the attack on you was not because you're a female, you know. But here is why, Tommy. You all listen to this.
Remember to take the gospel of the PNM and to spread it in your homes, your villages, in your offices, and throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago.
Senator Roberts, please. You just made a whole speech.
fascinating as this is, I really would like you to get to the point, please. No, but get it a little faster.
Thing for you to make you happy. The point of the
Mr.
bill...
Roberts, it's not about my happiness. It's about my ensuring the smooth running and functioning of this Senate. Senator Roberts, you are going down a path that I do not think is proper. Therefore, you have a few seconds. I would ask you to wrap up your contribution.
Madam President, I don't know what part you thought I was going on, because I am not sure what part. But I'm saying today that we are here, Trinidad and Tobago.
Has expired, Minister of Finance. Senator Roberts, number one, you just made another speech. Number two, that question, if it was a question, is not allowed. Can we move on to the next question? Senator Mark. Senator Mark, I won't allow that question. Next question. Senator
I'm
Roberts.
interrupted, yes, ma'am. No.
Senator Roberts. And I would also ask you, please, to just lower your voice a little bit. The acoustics in here are quite good, and there's no need to be shouting. Senator Roberts, if that is the case, then try to whisper.
I will certainly try to make you happy. I notice that I've been interrupted quite a bit. It's okay.
Senator Roberts, listen. And there is no conversation going on between you and me, okay? I make the rulings, you abide by it.
Oh, very much, Madam President.
Day 2.
He said, what we have with Venezuela, what the UNC have against Venezuela? No sentimos nada mal de la gente venezolana.
Senator Roberts, please. Can we, if you look at the standing orders, you'll see that we're supposed to be speaking in English. Senator Roberts, please refine your language.
Science is the intellectual and practical...
Senator Roberts, two things. I'd ask you to be relevant to the motion, and I'd ask you, please, you started off with one tone and you're steadily rising. I will ask you, please, to lower your voice. Senator Roberts, please.
This is not humor, ma'am.
Please, Senator Roberts.
Let me repeat. Okay.
I am not saying that you're humorous. I'm not saying that.
The World Cup cannot...
Senator Roberts, please.
Their science in here does not match their science out there.
I have made no political decisions. I have received no political instructions. Remember to take the gospel of the PNM and to spread it in your homes, your villages, in your offices, and throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago. I ask people to give me a chance. I'm saying to you, Senator Roberts, that you need to tone it down. Tone it down.
President, I would love to know what standing order, please, is tone it down. Because I've read it and I have not seen it. Please advise.
Well, no, that's very good for you. If you are reading and you're not seeing it, I am saying to you, and I have said it repeatedly, unless someone wants to question the authority of the presiding officer, I am saying to you, tone it down.
Madam President, I'm not questioning you. I'm asking you what standing order.
You actually
what
are
is
questioning
standing
me. You actually are questioning me, and I'm going to say to you, continue along this line, and your speaking time will be curtailed today.
I quote...
Senator Roberts, please, those offhand remarks, cut it out. Senator Roberts, you are speaking on everything but the motion. This is your last opportunity. Senator Roberts, your contribution is finished. Leader of Government Business.
Join this debate.
Sir, just 1 second. Senator Roberts, I will ask you to apologize right now for the comments I just heard you make. I am not going to repeat what I heard. I am asking you to apologize for what I just heard.
Ma'am, I humbly apologize for saying this is a joke.
Roberts, please leave the chamber for the rest of this sit-in. Please leave the chamber. Remember to take the gospel of the PNM and to spread it in your homes, your villages, in your offices, and throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago.
That the PNM has found it, Selwyn, as the gentleman would have said rightly. Dr. Eric Williams, many years ago, said that every single member of the PNM is a propagandist of the PNM. And one of the first things I will do as your new chairman is to ensure that the propagandists of the PNM must be deployed on every nook and every cranny of this country. And we will chase them away on social media, and that the gospel of the PNM must be known to every single citizen of this country.
Well, you better begin to be weaned off the government.
That's just how it is. We have subsidized water, subsidized electricity, subsidized education. We have subsidized public transportation. And all of these things we now have to pull back on. All of these things we now have to pull back on.
Madam Speaker, I still have a coal pot, you know, where I put my coals and I roast my breadfruit. So if you don't have that, go back until such time as you can afford the gas. But don't come and blame you not having gas on the government. I have a suggestion for me. In order to lose weight, I will ride to court. I will take a bike. That will save fuel. That's my solution.
We may have to call our homes and our families together around a table and say, you know what? We can no longer afford to go to the movies twice a week or 3 times a week. We may not be able to bake ham every month or make macaroni pie. We may have to cut back. Tommy.
Wow.
Glossary of things that government have done to people, you know. And I want to play this editorial before we go for the break. So we're going into a lot of the videos tonight before. I want to play this editorial for you all. Listen to this editorial. Where did I put that editorial? Here we go. Here it is right here. So you know that issue with the independent senators, right, Tommy?
Yes.
Right? And
so-called independent senators.
Yeah. Spreading the gospel of the PNM. Right?
So-called independent.
So-called independent. Yeah, there's nowhere in the Constitution, nowhere that it says anything about independent senators. And so far, Tommy, no one have been able to put fake news on what I've stated. There is nowhere in the Constitution. Go to 40 and see if it says anything about independent senators. But take a listen to this editorial. This is my editorial on this issue here. Take a listen to this.
President Kangalu's disingenuous gender defense, why her attack on UNC criticism falls flat, an editorial by Professor Wall Street. President Christine Kangalu's recent suggestion that criticism of her independent senator appointments stems from gender bias represents a troubling mischaracterization of legitimate political concerns. Speaking at the opening of the Arthur Locke Jack Global School of Business Women in Leadership Conference on July 8th, she questioned whether she would be as harshly criticized if she were a man, listing the questioning of the impartiality of independent senators among the attacks on her since becoming president. This defensive posture is not only disingenuous, but also undermines the very real concerns about political neutrality that should be central to any discussion of presidential appointments. By framing substantive policy criticism as gender-based discrimination, Kangalu deflects from the legitimate questions about her deep partisan connections and their impact on supposedly independent appointments. The UNC government's criticism of her appointments is not rooted in her gender, but in her extensive political history and partisan ties. Her attempt to shield herself behind gender represents a calculated deflection that insults both the intelligence of the public and the legitimate concerns about institutional independence.
All right, this feels almost illegal to know, but our windows were so old and just desperately needed to be replaced. So I called a few contractors, but they all quoted me a hefty $10,000 or more for new windows, and I almost lost it. That's when my friend, who's a realtor, stopped me and said, if you're a homeowner and your windows are older than 5 years, you might qualify for this new 2025 window replacement service. At first, it sounded too good to be true, but it turns out he uses the same service for all his clients, and a lot of people regret not knowing about it sooner, because the savings are serious, you guys. I applied, and in less than 2 minutes, I was approved for energy-efficient windows, and there are only 3 requirements. You've got to be a U.S. resident. You have to live in an eligible zip code. Your windows need to show visible signs of aging. You can click the button below to see if you qualify for new windows for your home. It takes less than 2 minutes, but you have to hurry and act now because requests are coming in fast and some contractors are already getting booked for 2025. So click the link below.
Here are 10 reasons why President Kangalu's gender defense is disingenuous. 1. Extensive P&M. Political career speaks volumes. Kangalu's political resume reads like a P&M career roadmap. Opposition Senator, 2001. Vice President of the Senate, 2002. Government Senator and Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, 2002 to 2005. Minister of Legal Affairs, 2005 to 2007. Minister of Science, Technology and Tertiary Education, 2007 to 2010. Member of Parliament for Pointe-à-Pierre, 2007 to 2010. And President of the Senate, 2015. This extensive partisan history, not her gender, forms the basis of legitimate concerns about her appointment. 2. The Gospel of the P&M Declaration. The UNC's rejection of Kangalu as president was partly based on concerns about whether the gospel of the P&M would be spread in President's house, referencing her own famous declaration to take the gospel of the P&M and spread it. This explicitly partisan statement reveals her ideological commitment to the P&M, making any claim of neutral appointments suspect. 3. Timing of gender claims is suspicious. Kangalu's gender-based defense emerged only after facing criticism for her appointments, suggesting a calculated strategy to deflect from substantive concerns rather than a genuine belief in gender discrimination. If gender bias were truly the issue, why wasn't this raised during her lengthy political career when she faced previous criticism? 4. Male P&M presidents never faced similar defense. Previous male P&M affiliated presidents faced similar criticism from opposition parties without resorting to gender-based deflection. The pattern of criticism against presidents with strong party ties is consistent regardless of gender, undermining Kangalu's claim that her treatment is uniquely gender-based. 5. Family political network creates conflicts. The Garcia-Kangalu family network includes prominent P&M figures, such as former Minister Anthony Garcia, P&M appointed technocrat Noel Garcia, and her husband Kerwin Garcia, who received millions in state briefs under P&M governments. These family connections create unavoidable conflicts of interest that have nothing to do with gender. 6. UNC's consistent opposition to partisan appointments. The UNC consistently opposed Kangalu's presidential nomination from the beginning, with then opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar stating she was totally outraged by the audacity, the bold-facedness, and shamelessness of this government to put forward a nominee in the person of an active sitting politician. This opposition was based on her political activity, not her gender. 7. Appointed under P&M government, Kangalu was appointed president under a P&M government, creating an inherent perception of partisanship. Her deep ties to the appointing party make questions about the independence of her appointments, legitimate institutional concerns, not gender discrimination. 8. deflection from substantive governance issues. By framing criticism as gender-based, Kangaloo avoids addressing the substantive concerns about whether someone with such extensive party ties can make truly independent appointments. This deflection prevents the kind of transparency and accountability that strengthens democratic institutions. 9. Undermines legitimate women's issues. Kangaloo's misuse of gender discrimination claims actually undermines the fight against real gender bias in politics. By crying discrimination when faced with legitimate policy criticism, she dilutes the impact of genuine gender-based concerns and provides ammunition for those who dismiss real discrimination. 10. Sets dangerous precedent for presidential accountability. If presidents can deflect institutional criticism by claiming gender discrimination, it sets a dangerous precedent that shields the presidency from legitimate oversight. This approach threatens the balance of power and accountability that is essential to democratic governance. The real issue, institutional independence. The core concern raised by the UNC government is not President Kangaloo's gender, but whether someone with such extensive partisan ties can maintain the institutional independence expected of the presidency. The current UNC government is publicly questioning the independence and objectivity of independent Senator Anthony Vieira, SC, as a senatorial appointee of President Christine Kangaloo, whom the Prime Minister stated was drawn from the ranks of the People's National Movement. This is a fundamental question about institutional integrity that transcends gender. The presidency requires not just the appearance of neutrality, but genuine independence from partisan considerations. When a president with deep party ties makes appointments to supposedly independent positions, questions about those appointments are not just legitimate, they are essential to democratic accountability. In conclusion, President Kangaloo's attempt to frame legitimate institutional criticism as gender discrimination represents a disingenuous deflection that does disservice to both democratic accountability and a genuine struggle against gender bias in politics. Her extensive P&M political career, explicit partisan declarations, and family connections create legitimate concerns about the independence of her appointments that have nothing to do with her gender. The UNC government's criticism should be judged on its merits, not dismissed through claims of discrimination. If President Kangaloo truly believes in institutional independence, she should address these concerns directly, rather than hiding behind gender-based deflection. The people of Trinidad and Tobago deserve a president who can separate institutional responsibilities from partisan loyalty, and they deserve honest engagement with criticism rather than convenient deflection. By resorting to gender-based deflection, Kangaloo not only fails to address legitimate concerns, but also undermines the very principles of transparency and accountability that should guide the presidency. Her approach sets a dangerous precedent that could shield future presidents from necessary oversight, weakening the democratic institutions she is supposed to protect.
There you have it, folks. There you have it.
Remember to take the gospel of the PNM and to spread it in your homes, your villages, in your offices, and throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago.
And of course, folks, it's in the village with Uncle Tommy Professor. WZYE come to you every Monday and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Don't forget, folks, Shady Live, WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook. Subscribe. WZYE TV on YouTube. And you can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444.
Also at 973-609-6509, 973-609-6509. And as the professor said, please share the live, share that live, share that live. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Thank you. And when we come back, we're going to have the Soca Warriors trademark owner with us, Selwyn Melville. We'll be right back. Stick and stay.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Welcome to WZYE TV 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. And on Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. on Let's Talk Politics. Like, share and subscribe to keep up to date with reality affecting your life. And as we always say, we bring the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
You're tuned to WZYE, the heartbeat of unfiltered truth. We're more than a station. We're a movement, grounded in facts, driven by integrity, committed to progress. We don't chase headlines, we create them. Decoding politics and current affairs to question power, not cozy up to it. From Laventille to Scarborough, whether you're in your living room or your commute, this is where perspectives collide, divides dissolve, and tomorrow's conversations start today. WZYE, we originate, not imitate.
No more red, no more red, no more red, no more red, no left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more shame, no more pain. We want to see us win, we want the brides again. No more penny again. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. We don't vouch for you. And we are tired of the bloodshed, tired of the taxes, tired of proposals and all the excuses, tired of no water, tired of stretching at the lot, tired of the eyebrows rippling. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more shame, no more pain. We want to see we win, we want the brides again. No more penny again. Bye bye, me bye bye. Bye bye, bring bye bye. We're tired of the bloodshed, tired of the taxes, of the proposals and all the excuses, tired of no water, tired of stretching at the lot, tired of the eyebrows rippling. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more shame, no more pain. We want to see we win, we want the brides again. No more penny again. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. We don't vouch it for you. No more red, 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 no left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more shame, no more pain. We want to see the win, we want the brides again. No more penny again. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. We don't vouch for you. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. We don't vouch for you.
Fire! 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 Fire!
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinidad wins. Everybody
Now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinidad going. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace. Vote for love. Vote for hope. Vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins.
Fire! 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 Fire!
And of course, we are back with you. It's in the village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. And don't forget, folks, as you get in, share the live, WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook. Subscribe. WZYE TV on YouTube. And you can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444.
Also at 973-609-6509, 973-609-6509. And as the professor said, share the live. Let's get these numbers up.
Let's take this call before we go. Southwestern UNC, I'm proud. We're going to take this call just before we go to our guest. Welcome.
Oh, sir. No, I could call back, Professor. If you
All
want.
right. Yeah. Call back. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, man. So, folks, let's bring in our guest. The young man himself, Selwyn Melville, the owner of the Soca Warriors brand. The man. And to take a transparency, I'm very transparent. Selwyn Melville is my friend. So I just want to clear that out of the way. So, because we say here, we bring you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Yeah? Selwyn, how are you doing?
Hey, my brother. Good evening to you, Uncle Tommy. Blessings with all the
Good
blessings.
evening.
How you all doing?
We are
Very
doing
well, thanks.
Yeah, we are splendiferous, tremendous, marvelous, fantabulous, wonderfulicious, fantastic, spectacular. What are those?
So your mic has gone down on me.
How are you doing?
How are you doing? Yeah, we mic all the way up, Is your mic? You all the way up here in the
Turn up your volume, Mr. Melville.
The volume on your mic. My volume has gone up.
We hearing you though. We hearing you loud and clear.
Hear me loud and clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're on my side. You are pretty low.
Yeah, turn up your speaker.
Yeah, because my board here all the way up to the top. Yeah.
All right.
We're hearing you well, Mr. Melville. Your speakers.
Yeah, I'm hearing you much better now.
Okay.
So good evening and blessings.
Welcome to the village.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You have any coffee?
We getting a little background noise from you.
Yeah, like a scraping.
Yeah, like a scraping kind of noise.
Right.
Now we still hearing it.
You ain't gonna hear it anymore.
Right.
Huh?
That is it. Yeah, that noise gone there. Right. That was
It's on now.
Kill that.
Yeah, that noise gone now. So let we get to the chase of the whole thing. There was the article in the newspapers regarding the Soca Warriors trademark. And as many people may or may not know, you are the owner of the Soca Warriors trademark. But before we do that, let me just play something real quick. Hold on a minute. I want to do something real quick. I want to do this. Hold on a minute. 1 minute. Let me get this here. Hold on 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. And I want to play this. They told me I'll put you back in. I'll put you guys back in just now. Let me put you guys back in.
No worry.
So
In a good mood tonight, brother.
Oh God, yeah, let me fix this thing here. This is just this. I have to play that. But Selwyn, we have the Soca Warriors trademark, which the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association put out and say that they are no longer going to use because you wanted an exorbitant amount of money and they couldn't reach a deal with you because of the exorbitant amount of money that you asked them. Then we kind of go to the
Gladiator.
bottom of that and tell the people, because you are the owner, tell the people. You understand?
So
I mean, I ain't trying to get you in no trouble. I ain't trying to do anything, but
no. I am my
people
own
want
man, boy, and I don't have to answer to anybody but me and the boss in the house and the legal people, and they're all in sync, and we're all in sync with whatever we're trying to do and achieve. Now, this thing about I asking for too much money, I gave them a price, and you, man, you do business in the university, so you know what it's like. It's about negotiations, right? So there was the lawyers, and we had not just Trinidad lawyers, even a Jamaican got in the mix with legal advice and all that. And what they were asking for was some US millions. And I felt that when the wife and I discussed it, I say, look, knowing Trinidad and Tobago, it doesn't make any sense we go that high with what these people are asking for. And we will go in an area that we can probably negotiate and deal with. So we gave them a price. And I could tell you my price was 750,000 US dollars a year over the next 5 years. And after the 5 year period, then we can negotiate based on how things go. Okay? So that was there for us. They were negotiating with me. They had a man who was the conduit. He was in the middle of negotiations. And so when it came, we did all our meetings on Zoom calls. And with the Zoom calls, the last year, May, I did air when they had the National Track and Field Championships at the stadium. That Saturday, we had a Zoom call, and they said they wanted to give me $1 million TT, one shot, and I have nothing to do with the name again. And Slim, you've been around with me long enough, you know. So it's not no storyline, but you were instrumental in me getting the legal support that I got to ensure that we're able to move forward on this whole thing. So they said $1 million TT for me. The lawyer said, you can buy a Tita with that thing. If you buy a small car in Jamaica, they say if you buy a Yaris, then you're broken after. So to do that and give them a property that has millions and uncounted, you can't count possibly what the future will bring for that. And to give it for a one-time payment of $1 million TT doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't put you, I mean, you might get up next morning and you can't talk because the Lord tell you against stupid and he ain't giving you no voice anymore to speak. So, and they kept quiet. They used, I sent something to you that was used by them some months ago. They had a young man who came on the Instagram and made a statement. And so it's very
room.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was roaming about with his speech. But you know, when I heard that, I laughed. I said, well, hey, look, there's a mission that they're on. And the mission is basically to put me under pressure where I feel guilty about my request for payment. And I could just give up because I see it as when I hear the comments that are coming out, that's a undervalued work statement, and people don't recognize what a trademark really is. And what the Football Association was asking for is basically for me to give up my trademark for nothing. And to start with, you can't really sell a trademark, you know. A trademark is something that you will rent out, lease out, and all those things. But you can't sell it. I made it very clear to them because there were discussions about it. Don't bring your lawyers in any conversation. You alone come. So I said, well, fellas, I can't do that because the lawyers have been working with me to help me in this situation. And now we come to this decision. I can't go to myself and not include the people who made the difference in my life. Because they're all there with me and they don't know what the arrangements that we made for me to get in that position and what they did. So when I hear people say that fella want too much money and he greedy, but they don't know what is a trademark and the value of a trademark. And they sit there and just sit there and hear something and they start talking and saying, boy, you want too much. But they are undervalued workers. A lot of these workers, people who are making statements, don't have access to quality payments for quality work and for quality contributions. So when they make those statements, I mean, I don't get angry. I have spent very little of my time even watching statements on YouTube or Facebook or on national TV. I hardly listen when that story came out from the Football Association about not but they can't but they whatever it is they are saying about the legal aspect. If someone called me and told me about that and sent me a screenshot of what was said in the media, because I don't really pay attention because too many negatives come out and I believe in positives. So the people who are spending time with negatives don't understand what value really is. So we okay with that. And so the papers, everybody's been calling me. I've been kept very busy with everybody talking about this whole thing and what do I do and but I want to make it very clear to people. The name Soca Warriors will not die because there are some people who believe that he doesn't deserve that. And don't deserve it is because I want to ask many of them who are making all these statements. If that the Soca Warriors trademark was yours, what would you have done? Would you have allowed people to do what they want with you or give you nothing for something of value? Most of them would argue and quarrel and call the TV station, the radio station, even internet, and everybody they call in to make sure they make the state a claim. But I have not done that because I believe that from my upbringing, I grew up as a martial arts man. And one of the things that I know is patience. When you're fighting with someone, anything can happen in a fight. But you would have to know how to hold in the worst time. And when it's possible and you see an opening, then you do your finish work on the person or the persons. So I know how to maintain my patience. And throughout the years, I have maintained that. And you would know that, Slim, because a lot of times we would communicate, we would talk and see what could come out of it. And we maintain that. So those who sit there and believe that, well, he wants too much, because most of them are unaware of the fact what a trademark really is and how it can be utilized. And that's why most of the people who have been speaking with me from a legal standpoint, they have been putting a measure on their figures because they know, well, a trademark has particular value and you can't waste that value. You have to make sure it works for you. But what they don't want, and I estimate that what's happening here, where the Football Association is concerned, is that I had said initially I feel that they don't understand what business is, but they understand business from their standpoint and not from my standpoint. So I have a trademark, I have a value, but they don't value that. They value what their plans are and what they see to happen. So if they reduce me to nothing, they get it, and there's so much value out there to make this thing happen that it would be great for them to keep me to a nothing value, and they walk about with all the value, and then everybody's laughing at me and say, he was greedy. You see $1 million and you feel like something. But if you see $1 million in Trinidad and Tobago right now, brother, $1 million is nothing. You can't go and buy a house. If you buy a house in Chumakat, they will tell you, hey, you come up here, you feel that we poor, you have to pay $2 million for a house. So you can't get that up in Chumakat and all they criticize Lavantil and all that. So what I'm trying to say is that they and undervaluing people and seeing that you have any worth in their eyes. And from the business standpoint, all these things are happening. You can't even sit down and talk to business people here right now in Trinidad concerning Soca warriors. So we have to start looking outside of Trinidad and Tobago to gain the reputation and the what we require. We have to get it outside, because here you're not going to get it here anymore. People see you as a brother A. You have no access to for continued growth. So don't come here talking no big talk, but you have a trademark, and with your trademark, you are right and you will do well. It's not so. The language in your house is different to the language in the other people's house. And I don't get into talks that are unnecessary, and that people and color and tone and all that. But you know, some of those things create that kind of atmosphere which would lead you to think otherwise. Because the Warriors name has been around. We got the trademark in 2022, and we were around for 20 plus 25 years, going on 26.
So let me ask the question. So is all negotiations with the TTFA off the table? Any negotiations?
What's that? Let me hear you again.
Is it off the table?
I'm not hearing you clearly.
Any further negotiations with the TTFA, is it off the table?
No, well, let me tell you something was happening. They had what the last time we had a conversation was in 2024, May. Since then, they have not had anything. So since then is when they recently came out with Home or Rome or whatever it is. That's the first thing I heard in a long time from them.
You know, Selwyn, hold on. Selwyn, hold on a minute. Mm-hmm. I'm being quieter, and here's why I'm being quieter. Folks, you all have to understand what is the significance of a trademark. And I'm reading, but let me put this. Let me put what's sensible, sir. Right? Let me put this. I want to put this up on the screen. Hold on.
So where you shift where your mic is, we have to bring it a bit more center to you, to your right.
No. It's been here and everybody else heard us. Because this is a sure mic.
Yeah.
I don't have to get close to this mic at all. I want to say something. Sensible. You make a lot of sense. A trademark is worth money. And if it is yours, you have to get royalty associated with it. That is totally accurate. 100%. So people saying down and saying all kind of thing about, well, you know, this is too much. Let me give all you an example. 2006 World Cup. I was trying to sell Soca Warriors t-shirt on Amazon. Yeah? You know what they did? They blocked anybody from selling any t-shirts on Amazon. Any t-shirt. Because back then, they had indicated that they had the rights to Soca Warriors. So you couldn't sell Soca Warriors on nothing. Right? And Nick, this has nothing to do with the team losing money. Do you understand merchandising? And Nick, come on, man. You know what merchandising is, Nick? Nick said, but this team losing more money than they're winning anything about money. Nick, it is about merchandising. Let me give you an example. Right? The National Basketball Association have merchandising. They make $1 gazillion from merchandising. Every team makes $1 gazillion from merchandising. If the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association was serious about making money, you know how much $1 gazillion they could make from merchandising of the Soca Warriors? Oh God, all you come on now, man. All you're just making noise now. And whoever vexed, that is all your business. Merchandising is, let me give you an example. I teach at Seton University. Seton University have a bookstore and they have an online store. And from the bookstore and the online store alone, they make unbelievable money just from merchandising. You all have to start to understand this thing, you know. This thing bigger than you all think it is, you know. You all saying, oh man, access 750,000 US. Where they getting that from? From merchandising. It's simple. It's simple. Correct, sensible. Whether or not the team makes money, they lose money, royalty is where they make. Listen to this, man. You know, I mean, this thing's, well, I shouldn't say easy. But folks, you all have to understand. There is something called merchandising. There is teacups, there is t-shirts, there is sweaters, there is hats, there's headbands, all kind of things, right? Keypads, keychains, all type of things, just from merchandising that they make a gazillion amount of dollars. You all are looking at it from a small perspective. Do not look at it from that perspective. I'm teaching a global business class, you know, right? James Outlet, correct. Apparel. You know how much different apparel? And think about this. This is not just for Trinidad, you know, right? This is for the world. Sweaters in the world. Germany. Sorry to say, Selwyn, but I was in the 2006 World Cup in Germany. And Trinidad and Tobago had a booth. And everything in the booth was gone in a short space of time in Germany. Yeah? And they wasn't selling one Soca Warriors t-shirt. As a matter of fact, being the businessman that I am, I carry about 20 Soca Warriors t-shirts. And in less than 10 minutes, they were all gone. Every single one of them. So folks, let me understand this thing. There is a lot of dollars in this. And when all you hear 750,000 US, all they're saying like, oh, look, here we go. CPL, TKR merchandise, sell out. TKR, yeah. TKR merchandise, sell out. Just imagine and think about this. We have an established name of Soca Warriors. You know what that's like? That's like going and change the West Indies name to the Caribbean team now. Right? Why you already have something established? Why you want to change it? But anyway, that's enough for my rant for the night. But anyway, Selwyn, so is there any possibilities that you guys will get together back again in order to try to fix this? Or you think that the negotiation is all done? Unmute your mic.
No audio. No audio.
Mute your mic. The mic is muted.
Your mic's muted.
Yeah.
Still muted.
Yeah, come back. Come back to church.
All right, you're muted. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is that people sit down when they hear money call, and that's why most of us are not business oriented. And so when you call figures in business, they mix up the business with their salaries. And when you get into a business mode, so they sit down there and they're hearing about t-shirt and this and that, but it's much more, it's a business venture. And business has a wider scope to really get things done. So a lot of them who are angry with me and saying, oh, he greedy and he this and that, because they don't understand the requirements in business. And they collect a salary for the month. But this is not about a salary. This is something that you own and that you work hard to put together. And it has value for the people. And then people have, you know, how much they pay for football shirts and things in Miami, where these fellas take charge, like Messi and Beckham and they. There's no shirt really available for Messi in Miami, you know. And these things are sold at a high price. So we have had a chance here in Trinidad and Tobago to capitalize on something. But there were people who decided then to capitalize on things for themselves. And it's a selfish game that is being played I'm not getting into no talk with Andy about the Football Association and all that kind of thing because I don't think I have my feeling about how they think and how they try to get things done. And they would have to come to understanding. Before I go on, there was a conversation that came up with me today. And this gentleman who came, he's a promoter, right? Promotes in Trinidad. And he called me to ask me, how could we now do something to get the Football Association to understand that there's so much more available for all of us. That if they could actually sit down and reason, things will happen in our favor. But they have not really sat down and reasoned. All they knew is that, well, you know, he asking for this and we don't want that. So we can't do it because we don't have the money. But answer me right. The money, it doesn't come from the TFA's pocket, you know. This money comes from merchandising. And once you decided that you want to do merchandise, people will buy. And the more you bring out and you promote, is the more you sell. And we have not been able to even think that is possible because we start thinking, before we start thinking that, boy, that ain't possible, you know, we have no money. And you have to change that actual way of thinking, how to deal with things. The other countries are doing that. These Manchester United and all they have huge packages where they sell merchandise to people, and that's part of the major success in what they're doing for sports and for their company. Not just about playing the game and collect money by the gates. It's bigger than that. This man who called me today and showed me, say, look, you know, the Football Association, we have Soca Warriors. Soca Warriors is not, and let me just make it clear to people, Soca Warriors is not about football. Jack and they took this name and worked with it after we beat Colombia 4-3 in Miami. But Soca Warriors is bigger than that. It has much more value because we have a broad section of people. This is about a culture, it's about a sport, and everything we put together. So you can't really sit down and argue about what you're not getting is what we're not doing. There was a game that we played in St. Vincent. John Williams was alive still, and he was the president. We played a match in the stadium. There's about 20,000 people in the stadium, right?
Hold on a minute. Selwyn, hold on a minute. Let me take this quick call. Caller, Defender, welcome. Defender, so you're coming. Go ahead.
Blessed night, Uncle Tommy, Wall Street, and the gentleman in the village.
Yeah, man.
Same to you.
Wall Street.
Yeah.
This conversation about this conversation I want to have here is not about the guy's ownership of the name, right?
Yeah.
What I was wondering, why this gentleman don't come together with the TTFA and they build the product together in a business partnership. Well, let me be honest. Two things I will be honest about tonight. One, if this deal go through, where is the TTFA is going to get $715,000 US yearly for 5 years to pay this gentleman? Two, if they decide no, would he make $750,000 with the name? And that's why I'm saying, why don't he view a business partnership with the TTFA? And they both come together, market it, and make it a profitable name. But also, Wall Street, let's be honest, the name Soca Warriors may be his own, yes. But who made it? What made it so, how to put it, so known? The same football team. So, as I'm saying, this is not about disputing he owns it or he should have value to it. It's just, I find it should be coming as a business aspect instead of trying to get money from the TTFA where they maybe not making that type of money neither. So as I said, this is not a bashing, this is just a suggestion.
All right, man.
But also, would like him to tell us how the name Soca Warriors came up, if you don't mind. Thank you very much.
Okay. I ain't afraid of that. But I'll say something here first. What you have to understand is that if you have to do something, and I came up with we could ask all right, let me answer your thing how Soca Warriors came up. You may not know who I am, but I'm a sports commentator. I have done probably over 4,000 football games, apart from cricket and the other things, as a commentator. I have traveled the world and covered a number of things. When we failed in 98, in 89, I was a young commentator at that time on radio and on TV. And to me, I felt that what was happening is that Trinidad and Tobago had gone through with the whole strike squad thing, and it failed, or they didn't get to qualify for the World Cup and all that. So what we did was, I said, well, we'll probably to try something. I decided, well, to come up with a name. And the names that I came up with was Soca Warriors and Calypso Warriors. I asked a friend of mine who was working at Nestle at that time, and they say the truth is being told here, and we do that, speak the truth all the time. So she said, hey man, I like the Soca Warriors name better than the Calypso Warriors. I said, well, that it is. And we went. So then I've been talking to some of my colleagues in the media about it. And they shunned me basically, although we're all working together in the Guardian building at Radio Trinidad and the Guardian. So eventually I went to Miami to do a game, Trinidad and Tobago against Colombia. And Colombia, well, that's when the name actually came into the public eyes and the ears and so on people. And because I had the name done already. So we went to Miami for that game against Colombia. We beat Colombia 4-3. Stone John scored 3 goals in that game. And he scored a hat-trick. Dwight York and Latapi were not there to represent Trinidad and Tobago. The Colombians had a really good team playing in that match. But we won that. And so I had, apart from doing commentary in the game, I also did a story for The Guardian. And the story that I did, at the headline, I put Soca Warriors shock Colombians. And this boy, the editor at that time was Zaid Mohammed, the evening. And he worked, and we were good. So he said, hey, I'm using it just so, I'm using the headline and all that. And when it came up with the headline, Soca Warriors shock Colombians, and we won 4-3. Big country beat up. So Jack and they decided they're going to use the name Soca Warriors for the team. And we had discussions about it. And they didn't believe. And it's very unfortunate that according to who you are, you're not recognized for your thoughts. So they had a guy called Peter Miller, who was employed by Jack and they to be the CEO of the football. And we discussed the whole issue. And I said, look, you can't go and use this name without having permission. I created this thing. It's because of me why you're doing this. And that was in 2000 that they did that. And Jack told me, I wouldn't lie on anybody, I speak truth. Jack told me that Peter Miller told him it's not me. And if Peter Miller said it's not me, then it's not me. So you're not speaking the truth. I said, well, brother, you know me long enough. You know what I do. And you know the amount of work I do to help sport in this country. So if you say so, well, okay. And they start doing their own thing. And I quietly continue to do what I had to do to make it necessary for me to be recognized for what I've done. And there have been a lot of back and forth things, lawyers writing me and telling me I can't use her name and so on. And I tell them I'll bring it on. You can bring it on, it's up to you. I have no problem with that. I know I'm speaking truth and I don't have to create a story or take anything from anyone that doesn't belong to me. And we went on, a couple of things happened, newspaper stories and all that. And eventually we realized that the Jack and they were just everybody making money, millions of dollars. Men show me how much money they made with houses and all kind of things through Soca Warriors. And I've been blocked in many ways to do anything. But I have not been, and see, I hear a voice saying that, the man and come together and talk business and all that. But they have not been talking business with me. they are doing everything to make sure that I didn't do any business at all with the game. So I had to reach the point where when John Williams was president, I mean, I supported John Williams from top to bottom, every way possible, working with him on his demeanor on television and all those things. Working with him, he used to get my cameras to go and do things. Sometimes I borrow things from him to do, and so we thought we were friends and brothers. But then it came down to a storyline that, hey, you see what you're doing there? He can't get that thing in. So people were telling me, this brother was showing to me that if with Brazil doing the World Cup and also the Olympics, there were chances for us to do business there and make some money. But then he decided, well, look, he had some connections in Brazil, and it's better for him to do his connection with Brazil without me. But nothing happened. But still, I didn't do anything unnecessary. I am a very quiet, simple person, and we did what we had to do.
Where do we go from here? Where, I mean, we know all the history of upon everything that have happened. Where do we go from here as
It's
far
simple.
as the Soca Warriors is concerned?
It's simple. There are some things that I can't really tell anyone right now that's happening, things that are happening with me, Soca Warriors. And someone came to me today, and even in the newspaper, another man called and was really saying, why can't there be a business discussion on this whole thing? And the Football Association, the gentleman was complaining a while ago about why didn't they get together, and he's talking about, and I seen on the screen there about bankrupt if they had to pay that kind of money. But we all are thinking small, and we're not thinking of how we can, because in business, what you do is what is possible and what is not possible. And if we start doing what is possible, then we find ways and means to address situations. But most of them are not keen on finding solutions because it's the easy way out. But from here on in, I have plans that I have to do with my brand. So whether the name doesn't go about and become what it is, or continues to, because we have now decided in my family and my legal team that Soca Warriors is not sport, but it's more than sport, because it's a cultural thing. Soca is our culture. So we can't sit down and make it believe that it's not about football. And even the business people here start thinking that, hey, when you mention Soca Warriors, you mention football. And it's not going to be that way. So we have already begun changing not only sport, and that is our tagline that we're going to bring for the name. Because it's my trademark, I own it. And it's whatever happens, happens. If the Football Association, and I'm very clear with people, we are not here to argue and fight with the Football Association, because it's their right. If they don't want to use the name Soca Warriors anymore, that is their right, and they can do that. And I would never be mad at anybody for that decision made. So don't anybody believe that I hear and I fighting for money and all that kind of thing. It's just that if you have something and it has value, then you must make your value work for you, and you don't let people tell you what your value really is. And that we face in this place here, that everybody's saying, but he ain't with that, he ain't with this. I faced that so many times as a broadcaster in work that I've done, where people think, but what there are certain plans that we have, and I can tell you that outside of Trinidad and Tobago, because of what has been happening, I have been working with international people. So I'm not sitting here quarreling and wasting time here. You know, I have some connections because of my international activities. I have connections in Belgium and in Germany. A year or so ago, we had the German women's football team to come to play a game in Tobago against the Tobago women's football team. The Germans were bringing down with the Belgians, so bringing our crew out with 10 cameras to do the game live from the White York Stadium. And in the process, there was a war against me for thinking that way, because I'm not supposed to think that way, man. What am I doing here? Are you going to bring Germany? Sky TV was going to do the game live without any question. And Sky TV has an audience average over 100 million. We would not have probably attract the 100 million people in the broadcast, but we'd have had a bigger audience than we could normally expect for a Trinidad and Tobago game. There were people who were telling me, why don't you send the team to England to play rather than bring them, the Germans here, and they're making money. And the hotel was getting over $300,000. Transportation, food, everything. But to cut all that, man, I have plans for my thing, and the connection that I developed with the foreigners, the Germans and the Germans and the Belgians, is that we could have teams come. So we've now discussing with outside of Trinidad and Tobago, because in Trinidad and Tobago, they don't want it to happen. So we have gone outside of TNT, and they say a prophet is not accepting his own land. So it is, and we deal with that. No animosity, no vexation. You wouldn't see me here sit down and talk anything negative about Trinidad and Tobago so far. I have done so many things for football in my country. That is unbelievable. But I don't have time to waste on those things. We just have to be practical and realistic. And to my friend who was on the air a while ago, we tried all kinds of things with the Football Association, and they don't want to have conversations. They came and said, this is what we're going to do with you, and take it or leave it. And that's what they have. And we're not in that phase. That space is no longer really important for us. We have to sit down and realize what we can do. Soca Warriors has so much to offer our people in Trinidad and Tobago and beyond. But we have to put aside those petty issues that are taking place. And sitting there and saying, boy, you want too much money, and you go bankrupt the Football Association and all that. The Football Association don't have to pay any money. They have to sit down there and say, hey, there are people who don't even do anything with football and buy house and all kind of thing from Soca Warriors. It means that there is inordinate amount of value awaiting us to do things. And I am willing and able and ready, because I'm acceptable and I'm approachable to do things. But they don't want to do that. And some people sit on the side and they just hear things and they say, well, them after that a troublemaker boy. I know if you go and check the history on the media and writings, you don't see anything written by me about Soca Warriors and my complaints to anybody. So it shows clearly that my approach to things are entirely different to what we're seeing. But we know that the name will be forever, no matter what. If football drops it and they don't use it anymore, and they don't want to, which they're not supposed to do anymore. And I have been very, very generous in not putting any pressure on anybody with that, because it's a trademark and they're not supposed to use it. And that's why they come up with the effort now to change the whole thing and come up with a new name, which is good. And there's no argument with that. And I'll never be mad in the morning. And I will sing their praises. But in the thing, using something that's not yours.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Selwyn, what I want to say, I want to say that, I am hoping and praying that you guys can get back to the table and have a discussion, and there could be some negotiations, whereas that it can be beneficial to both you and the TTFA, because this has been a process that's been ongoing for a long, long time now, and let's hope that the next time you all speak, you all can have some sort of discussion and bring this thing to an end where everybody can benefit, because this has been a long, long road, and there's benefits into everybody from a merchandising perspective of making money. So before you go, any closing words or anything you want to say to the TF, any closing words or anything you want to say to the
Well,
TF?
like I said before, we are open to any discussion they're prepared to have. A gentleman came in the picture today and he said, hey, look, what's happening? He said, I've seen this thing happening, and he's been involved in promotion, and he made some suggestions. So I spoke to the legal team already and said, hey, this man, who I know very well and a good friend of mine, and Maximus and all, they are good friends, and he said, well, hey, here's a man we could probably encourage to come in the middle and have discussions and let the Football Association know that it is not about them, but it's about all of us. And they can ask for more than what I've given to Trinidad and Tobago, because I've given a name. I can get if I have to, as a commentator, if I have to go to a game, I have to pay to go to the game. And that's the kind of disrespect that you see. So when you hear people talking all kind of nonsense, they have no idea what we're dealing with at any given day. But we are open to any discussion that the Football Association would have, and would be, in a way, understanding the role that they have to play and we all can come together and sit down and discuss something that is amicable, that be satisfying to me, satisfying to them, and also to the young people. We are also looking to even change the whole aspect. 25 years now, we have Soca Warriors. We are now looking for programs and projects to encourage the young people so that there could be a new generation coming in, because the old people have old ways and they think old. And no matter I'm an older man, but the thing is that the youths now have a say with this thing. And even one of the guys who came in today to discuss, his son is a promoter and a young man, and he sees new ideas. I have some other people who do television for me, young people who are coming with new ideas, so we can go forward and make this thing work, because we have something that is our culture and our people, and we shouldn't allow it to waste because of selfish ways and thinking. But we have tried to have discussions with the people, and they have not been able to really come together and make it work.
So I want to say, Selwyn, I wish you all the best going forward, and I want to thank you for taking the time to come on and just clear the air and put some information on the table. So, of course, I want to thank you again, and thank you and all the people, and hang in there. And I wish you all the best in the future.
But the future looks very brighter, and there are people who outside of Trinidad and Tobago that are more keen than all people in Trinidad and Tobago. And we have to understand that and deal with that and make sure that the future could be good for Trinidad and Tobago. I hope that we qualify for the World Cup with or without the Soca Warriors name, because I'm still a Trinidadian, no matter what. Amen.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, man.
Eso.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias por su tiempo.
No se habla español.
No es mi problema. Es su problema, no es mi problema.
All right, later.
There it is.
There it is, folks.
Yeah. But, Selwyn he still has something that's valuable that he can capitalize with. He can monetize that at any given time.
But the thing about it there, Tommy, is that Trinidad's not easy,
Yeah, it's myopia,
I mean, Tommy, I see merchandising from some of the little MLS teams in this country. MLS, eh?
You see, a big country put you in a different mindset, a different frame of mind where you could see the big picture. But in a little small place like Trinidad, it's strictly
go ahead.
It's strictly small-mindedness right through in every single thing you try to do. Been there, done that. I'm telling you, I'm aware.
I mean, I reading what some people saying, and where they go get the money from, where they go get 750,000 from, folks. We that you have to change that type of mindset.
They can't help themselves.
Tommy, I have seen lesser the Reggae Boys. Look at the Reggae Boys, for example.
Yep.
The Reggae Boys have a shop. They're making money. What else call it, Tommy? Fist over what? Something?
Hand over fist.
Hand over fist. Yeah. So when are we gonna start to think? When are we gonna really start to think, boy?
You see, think about reggae as a music and the way they have marketed it and the way that they have monetized it. I think about soca versus reggae.
No, I just say that. Now, listen to this. So Defender says now, well, Wall Street, Shorty came up with soca. So then they're going to trademark soca. Defender, once somebody trademark something, you can't go and trademark it after. Tommy?
True.
If you come up with something and I had the smarts and I went and trademark it, patent, copyright, whatever it is, first use, or you go come after me and then say, you're going to trademark it. Right? However, there was a fight between who was come up with the Soca Royals and so on and so forth. But to me, Tommy, all that is not here or there. To me, the most important thing is for the TTFA and them to get together, sit down, work out something to the benefit of everybody.
You see, what happens is that there's so much greed that takes precedence.
Yeah.
When listen, man.
Yeah,
I've had my experience with dealing with people in business in Trinidad, especially we people of African descent.
And Tommy, there you go. There you go. Because Tommy, as you get back to that, think about this. The Lavantil to Washington Empowerment Center. That wasn't just about the Lavantil to Washington Empowerment Center, you know. That was about merchandising too, you know. What I'm going to do, Tommy, let me take this call. Financial Guru, you have 2 minutes before the top of the hour. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just going to be short. Professor Wall Street, having gone to Germany.
Wait. Yeah, Tommy, read that on the screen. Listen to that fella.
Not all merchandising is
It's a good thing I don't cuss, eh? It's a good thing I'm not disrespectful. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to be quick, Professor Wall Street.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the problem with Trinidad and Tobago. And this is the problem with the TFT and TFA. You have small ball and big ball.
Correct.
We playing checkers while the world is playing chess.
Yes.
First of all, the TNTFA presidents and the executive, which includes Mr. Downer and Mr. Murray, don't understand business. They should have a consultant. First of all, how are you attributing $1 million to a brand? I was in Germany just like you. Listen to me carefully. One ticket was sold by one of my friends, which we paid 50 US for 950 pounds by a British man. The Germans, when I was going from Frankfurt to the first game in Nuremberg on Wall Street, there were Germans painting up my face. They had red Soca Warrior shirts. So this issue here is, and I'm going to ask Mr. Melville, the fact is the 750,000 US is a arbitrary number. What they have to do is, and I'm telling the whatever his name is, John Williams or whatever his name is, I don't even know the name of the guy.
Yeah, new guy.
You understand?
Yeah.
That you guys have to get an external consultant. The TNTFA doesn't have to pay any money because you can get, Mr. Melville already said, the Soca Warriors has outside help in Europe. Why don't you come together and work out a variable patent deal where, based on the revenue, Mr. Melville can extricate a fixed value, and based on the sales can get that. Professor, what's going to leave you with this?
Yeah.
I deal with patents. I deal and advise people as a financial consultant, and even if you hold on to the patent at some time or some use, it will be useful down the road. The TNTFA is making a big mistake by saying 1 million. And I'm going to leave you with this. $750,000 per annum is just something called perpetuity. When you value in something, when you value in a patent or a trademark, you have to say what the revenue stream is. And it's something called perpetuity, which is infinity. You use what is called a terminal rate. Let's say 5%. You know at $750,000, that will be 15 million US. Obviously, the TTFA doesn't have that money, but they have to see the bigger picture. And if they don't see that, they're making a cardinal error.
All right.
Good night, Professor Wall Street. They need to sit down with Mr. Melville and get a consultant in the deal.
Correct.
Have a good night, everyone.
We're going for the break, folks. We'll be right back. Stick on.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Don't forget, folks, share the live, WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook. Subscribe, WZYE TV on YouTube. And you can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444.
Also at 973-609-6509, 973-609-6509. And as the professor said, share the live. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's get these numbers up.
Yes.
Thank you.
Tommy, I heard something today in the opposition post-cabinet briefing. Yeah? And they are asking the question, where the UNC going to get the money from? I want to play this for you all. I either can play it. Let me see if I can play it from here. Hold on.
18 and before, processed in the region of 140 barrels per day, with imports accounting for 100
Let me see something.
run electrical systems, former OWTU monthly representative.
I think I might have to play it from here.
Because,
hold on, folks, 1 minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, is to examine the technical evaluation for the return of former minister brought a note to cabinet in which he to the production sharing contract.
Here it is.
In this contract in particular. Cabinet therefore agreed in January 2025 to a production sharing contract involving, of course, the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries on behalf of the government of Trinidad and Tobago, Woodside Energy, and BP Exploration Operating Company Limited. It was only discovered in April 2025 that the note taken to cabinet and approved contained a detrimental matrix involving costing and returns to the government and the people of Trinidad and Tobago by way of profit share. And the table that was approved, recommended by Mr. Stuart Young and approved by the then cabinet of Prime Minister Keith Rowley at the time, a cabinet that included opposition leader Penelope Beckles, a cabinet that included Mr. Faris Alwari, cabinet that included Mr. Foster Cummings and many others on the opposition benches today. That cabinet approved and confirmed a note that reduced the government share of the profits of this particular profit sharing contract by between 20 to 30%. What it meant is that this country stood to lose if we did not act today. The country stood to lose in terms of revenue 6.7 billion Trinidad and Tobago.
Tommy, you hear that?
Yep.
The country stood to lose 6.7 billion TT dollars. You know how much things could be done with that money? You know how much things? But I am wondering, and not Tommy, I'm just wondering, I'm speculating here. I'm speculating that speculation. What kind of happened with that? What was going to happen with that extra money that it wasn't going to the people of Trinidad and Tobago? I wonder if maybe it was going sideways. I don't know. I'm just asking, folks. I'm not casting any aspersions. I'm just wondering. $6.7 or $6.9 billion? Nah.
Dollars because of the note taken by Mr. Stuart Young. The country would lose in revenue 6.78 billion Trinidad and Tobago dollars over the life of the proposed deep water development. Ladies and gentlemen, it is amazing to note that this mistake was actually picked up by the contractor, Woodside Energy, and brought to the attention of our government. We moved with haste to discuss with the players and the stakeholders, and today we approved a new natural gas price class structure and matrix that gave the government of Trinidad and Tobago at the lowest end 10% increase and at the highest end 20% increase in our revenue from that particular project. It amounts roughly, by the calculations of those at the ministry, to be $1 billion United States dollars over the life of the project.
$1 billion United States dollars, Tommy.
Mm.
And they want to know where the money coming from. The money there, you know. The money's already there. The money's there. But it's very astute management will get the money. Right? I tell all you, the PNM squander mania. Right? Keep poor people poor. Keep you at the bottom of the ladder, especially people that look like me and you, Tommy, who voted for them.
And this to us is extremely significant, because had this remained, I have asked incidentally for a complete investigation by the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries as to how an error, a mistake, a miscalculation could take place with a pricing matrix that allows a government to lose $1 billion United States dollars, almost 7 billion Trinidad and Tobago dollars in the life of a project. How can a mistake like that take place? I mean, I've known that we have sometimes, it's inevitable and human that we have errors, small errors in minutes and documents and notes and so on. But this is not a small error. This is an error of 7 billion Trinidad and Tobago dollars that was picked up outside of the ministry. And therefore, we had to correct this post haste. And today we did. And in doing so, we have earned effectively by passing one note at the cabinet. I can tell you, by passing one note at the cabinet, we have just earned 7 billion Trinidad and Tobago dollars. So anybody who asks where the money coming from is correcting the mistakes of Stuart Young and others. That is where the money is coming from, without producing one extra barrel of oil per day. And since we came into office, I've said before, and I want to remind you, we have increased oil production from 48,000 barrels of oil per day, which we met today, by almost 5,000 barrels more. We have increased that to about 54,000 barrels of oil per day. We have increased gas production as well. In fact, today, a few moments ago, the Honorable Prime Minister, myself, the Honorable Ernesto Queza, met with the leadership of BP today, Mr. David Campbell and others. And we received the good news from Mr. Campbell and BP that they have also seen a growth in their own production in the second quarter of 2025. We're extremely happy to report that Shell, when you add that to Shell, that Shell has also indicated that they intend to ramp up and expand production and enhance production in the Manatee field by 10%. That speaks well for our revenue position, it speaks well for our foreign exchange challenge, and it speaks well for the investor confidence in Trinidad and Tobago at this time from the energy sector. So those are the two matters I would raise with you, and of course be in a position to take any question that you may have.
Well, Tommy, we want to ask questions.
Just like that.
Just like that. Caribbean Soul, I don't know why you engage in PNM Fox, you know. PNM Fox don't want nothing good for PNM Fox. PNM Fox, if I am selling merchandising in the Laventille to Washington Empowerment Center, right? Merchandising, it go lose money. It go lose money. Yeah? Of course, people spell cups, they spell mugs, they sell all different kind of things. What are you talking about? Tommy, you know boy. That kind of psychology.
I'm gonna tell you something. Small-mindedness or myopia, which is the other word for that, has taken full control of many persons in Trinidad and Tobago. But unfortunately, the persons that are affected by that look like you and I.
But most of them are PNM. Yeah, you want to put that in? Most of them are PNM. Yeah.
That too.
We did the top of the hour, right? Did we?
Yeah, we did it up. Did we?
Yeah.
We
I
did.
think most of them are PNM. But Tommy, you thinking about 7 billion TT. I came across this and I was shocked. I was shocked that I came across this. And I was like, I didn't know Senator Naked, right, took Ferris wheel to task in the Senate a while ago. But I didn't know. But my good friend, Miss Georgia Senator, I want you all to listen to this. Listen to this. This is Senator David Naked.
Invitation, and of course, to comment on your elevation, having worked with you for 5 years under your esteemed guidance, I can reaffirm the words of Senator Kama Maharaj that there is no one more worthy, more meritorious than you to ascend to that office. I'm happy to join the debate at this point in time, especially after that last contribution from the Honorable Senator Faris Al-Rawi, because I was thinking that this could be National Irony Day. Because there stood a man, irony of ironies, and funny enough, the Greek word for irony is ironia, which has a more in-depth meaning than what we know it as. It can mean feigned ignorance, feigned arrogance. Well, that encapsulated everything about that contribution. The seemingly outraged Senator Harari at the plight of poor and working people escapes no one in Trinidad and Tobago. When we put into context, which he asked for, he continued to ask for context. Well, let me give this champion of the poor and the working class some context. One Alexandra Place, $600,000 a month, $7,200,000 a year.
Oh, you hear that?
Yep.
Do me hear that?
Claro.
And Ferris wheel championing the poor boy. CPEP workers, we are your champions now that we're in opposition. Yeah? We are your champions now we're in opposition. Yeah? Why Ferris didn't do like Stuart Young? You know Stuart Young gave out hampers to the CPEP workers in his constituency, right, Tommy?
Yep.
He gave out some hampers. Yeah. Want to see that? Oh, God, them fellas are them good. Stuart Young gave out hampers in his constituency. Yeah. Nice red hamper.
3 Alexandra Place.
Yeah.
$575,000 a month.
$575,000 a month. Yeah? Championing the poor boy. All you up in the Avantel, Mova, and environs, all you win all the stuff of the government, eh? Win all the stuff of the government. Eh? All you ain't supposed to be collecting nothing from the government. Just Ferris and them. There's more.
6,900,000. What a champion of the people. 45 to 45C, St. Vincent Street, $159,000.
$159,000, boy. All you win all the stuff of the government. All you win all the stuff. Former Prime Minister went up in Lavantil and telling poor black disadvantaged people, all you win all the stuff of the government. He didn't tell Ferris that, you know. Go up there and tell them that. Look.
A month, $1,900,000 a year. Corner of Aga Street, St. James, $356,000 for this battle for human rights. A year, $4,272,000. Yeah.
I'm fighting for poor people, boy.
Mm-hmm.
When he was in the government, he wasn't fighting for poor people, you know. He was living on the backs of poor people. That is what he was doing. Yeah? And paying them next to nothing in CPEP. Now all of a sudden, he found this way and he's fighting for poor people.
Really, Mr. President, this modern day Uriah Bus Butler collects $20,280,000 a year.
President, for
20 million, Tommy. 20 million,
Mm.
Tommy.
That's plenty of money.
20 million. You understand?
46.6.
Mr. President, they opened the conversation completely, and I'm responding.
Yeah, continue, please.
And I am glad the Senator Brown, I was waiting for him to interject at some point, this self-anointed Sai Baba, who seems to be giving everyone advice lately. And we wonder why in 9 years, he failed to give his own team advice, because he has been lifted from here, where the Honorable Senator Alahar sits, and escorted to over there. I wonder how his advice fared with his own party. Irony of ironies, since that seems to be the theme, we might soon hear that he gave advice to people who suffer from domestic abuse. I say no more. Back to Senator Arari, who seemed to go on and on about how we treat with CPEP workers. Well, simple, Senator Arari, through you, Honorable President, donate that sum of 200 million over 10 years, donate a quarter of that to those poor and grieving workers that you so care about. Donate that instead of spending it on things to tighten face and all kind of thing. Anyway, I thank you, Mr. President. I now join the debate. I will spend no more time on people who come here being the epitome of political hypocrisy. And when we look at all the discourses throughout the history of debates in the Senate, when you look at our predecessors in ancient times, there were three things that they never tolerated in the Senate. One was irony, because I described it before. Second was hypocrisy. And the third was not being humble, when you had contempt, when you were contemptuous. And I think in the person of all those senators, not the newly elected, of course, I love their contribution. Well done, Senator. But those older ensconced in their PNM political trickery, I say to them, not only shame, but you deserve to be where you are, and time is longer than twine.
Man fighting now, yes, boy?
Yep.
Yeah. You're fighting now, boy. Yeah. Faris Al-Rabi fighting for the poor now, boy.
Yep.
He wasn't fighting all the time, you know, Tommy. He just found his way, boy. He found his way. Yeah? But I don't want them to forget, you know, Tommy. I don't want them to forget.
That the PNM has found itself in, as the gentleman would have said rightly. Dr. Eric Williams, many years ago, said that every single member of the PNM is a propagandist of the PNM. And one of the first things I will do as your new chairman is to ensure that the propagandists of the PNM must be deployed on every nook and every cranny of this country, and we will chase them away on social media, and that the gospel of the PNM must be known to every single citizen of this country.
Remember to take the gospel of the PNM and to spread it in your homes, your villages, in your offices, and throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago.
Tommy, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes
all right.
say that again.
It's all right there for us.
Everything is right there, Tommy. Tommy, what you think we'll ever forget this, boy?
I'm trying to come up. Come on, all I mean, let's figure it out. We gotta go. We gotta start moving. Can't everything all right with you? No. Any items break? Your leg, all right. Fight. Anything happen to you? Yeah. A fight? No way. Can't. Anything happen to you? Yusuf, anything happen to you? Yeah, boy. What happened?
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is going to make an ex gratia payment, which means without any admission of liability. And we're going to make ex gratia payments of $1 million to each of the families of the deceased divers and to Mr. Boudram.
That the PNM has found itself in, as the gentleman would have said rightly. Dr. Eric Williams, many years ago, said that every single member of the PNM is a propagandist of the PNM. And one of the first things I will do as your new chairman is to ensure that the propagandists of the PNM must be deployed on every nook and every cranny of this country. And we will chase them away on social media, and that the gospel of the PNM must be known to every single citizen of this country.
Remember to take the gospel of the PNM and to spread it in your homes, your villages, in your offices, and throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago.
COP, welcome.
Good night to you, Professor Wall Street. And good night to you, Uncle Tommy.
COP, why you laughing?
My friend, good night.
Because I hear an interview. The president said how she out of active politics 7 years now.
Yeah.
7 years now she out of active politics, and then she become president. She was president of the Senate, and they move she from president of the Senate and make she president of Trinidad and Tobago. So I can understand why she was out of active politics, and because she's a female, they're attacking she.
Yeah, and they want to make the comparison to A&R Robinson. You understand?
Yeah.
They're trying to shift the goalpost.
Gosh,
Yeah, making a comparison to A&R Robinson. Yeah?
No. You see the senators and them as PNM members. You see the senators and them campaign for the PNM all platform, all kind of thing, but they say they're independent.
Yeah, they're independent.
But they know who they're talking to. They know who they're talking to. They know they're talking to me and you.
Yeah,
correct.
correct.
But it's amazing. Now them documents and them that the honorable minister Munilala
Yeah.
reading out over there. That is documents from the past border. That's documents that the PNM government was conducting with.
Yep.
It's amazing to see $7 billion that we was losing, and we just wasn't losing $7 billion in energy ministry alone. We was losing billions of dollars in national security. We was losing billions of dollars in housing ministry. We was losing billions of dollars in works and transport. And in every ministry we had in this country, we was losing billions of dollars. If you listen for the before the general election, when Stuart Young was campaigning, he said we was training for the past 9 years. We was training and gaining experience.
Yep.
So when Dr. Rowley could put us at unexperienced people over there to work, This is the repercussion of his mistake and the PNM mistake. Because Professor Wall Street, how you gonna make a mistake with $7 billion?
Boy, are you gonna make that kind of mistake, boy? You know what I mean?
And they was lying to because they was telling us for the campaign trail, we make $20 billion, and that's how they must speak, you know. But we wasn't benefiting from that. But something I want to ask you too, you know. That man who own
Soca
the Soca Warrior,
Yeah.
is 750 million, 750,000 US dollars a year that I pay for that.
No, but listen, COP. What it is a negotiation.
All that money.
No, but listen.
I will just go to Trinidad to make a football team, you know. I could have go into that. But I spend plenty money, especially.
No, but COP, listen, it's a
I hear nothing
negotiation. It's a negotiation.
You hear me there, Wall Street?
Yeah, we hear you. I hear you loud and clear.
You hear me there?
Yeah, you hear me? I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. COP, yeah, what it is there? It's a negotiation.
Yeah.
You understand? And
yeah, it's a negotiation.
They might have come to the table and negotiate something, right? With respect to
Trinidad football team. Trinidad football team. Don't even have that kind of money. Trinidad football team is the most worrisome football team we have in the coal and the Western Hemisphere. Them don't make that kind of money. I find I want to negotiate and I will just go to Trinidad to make a football team. Like we did a football team, Selwyn football team. I take all the Soca from that way. But I want to bash the man, all the agreement and I will just be. But that is plenty money, man. I had to bring the US in it.
COP.
Go with the TT, man.
COP.
Hold on. Come, you have a question. Go ahead, Tommy.
COP, what you haven't realized is that with proper marketing, merchandising would bring so much money that would be like a drop in the bucket.
A drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
For Soca Warriors.
Yeah, but we have Soca Warriors over 20 years now.
But they never merchandise.
It bring no drop in the bucket.
No, but they never marketed.
They never marketed.
Them get serious marketing. They make millions of dollars. Millions.
Oh God, it wasn't market because Soca Warriors have scoring 8 goals and 10 goals in the games and them. If they win the games and them right through that, nobody to market them, they market themselves. But only going and getting duck and one and all kind of things. So who can market that? How you can market something like that at scoring at all? You can market winning team right through. But who in this can market a team that only losing? Who in this world could do that?
Is the brand we working with, you know?
Yeah, I understand the brand, but if the players itself only losing, what you can market on a losing team?
Win, lose, or draw, you could market it, man.
You can market them. I fighting the man and I want to go. I'm just telling you about that is plenty money. We don't have that kind of money here. I take off the US. We pay in TT. In Trinidad, we pay in TT. In foreign, they pay in US.
Yeah, but when you're marketing, in the US.
Yeah, they're marketing in the US. Yeah, you know that, COP? All right, COP.
Yeah, they can do whatever.
Yeah, later.
They can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, they mark
TT.
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah. In 2006, they was selling all kind of T-shirts and mugs and all kind of thing on Amazon and making real money.
Yeah. But we Ministry of Sports was making any money in it?
No, the Soca Warriors was making money. When them selling
that organization.
Yeah, they had merchandising on Amazon because I couldn't sell. They had all kind of different merchandising on Amazon and people was buying.
Yeah, but yet still taxpayers were hard was to pay for transport for all the games that go here and go there and all kind of thing. Taxpayers was paying for them things. Because the organization, the football always coming on Trinidadians. We had to pay for this and we had to pay for that. And we
No,
had to pay
no.
for that.
When you go into a World Cup, FIFA take care of that. That is not money, and they get paid. Eh?
When last we went to that World Cup?
No, but I'm saying in 2006.
Right in 2006.
Yeah.
We 2025 for the professor.
All right.
Professor, we 2025 for the.
All right.
All right.
Later. Yeah, and James, I will let correct sponsorship. Sponsorship is correct. But folks, I want you all to listen. Listen to this. They're talking about this is the Minister of
National Homeland Security.
It's the Homeland Security. Roger Alexander was in
Jamaica.
discussing things in CARICOM. So take a listen.
Media release, Trinidad and Tobago holds high-level regional discussions on security. Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, July 07, 2025. On Monday, July 7th, 2025, the Honorable Roger Alexander, Minister of Homeland Security, held extensive and productive discussions with his counterpart, the Honorable Dr. Horace Chang, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security of Jamaica, on the margins of the 49th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community. Minister Alexander and Minister Chang explored ways to strengthen the bilateral relationship between both countries in the area of crime prevention and detection, which has seen notable successes in Jamaica in recent times. In particular, both countries discussed the importance of keeping communication channels between relevant crime-fighting authorities open and active. They committed to continued collaboration and sharing of strategies to combat the growing threat of criminal elements in the region. The meeting reaffirmed the strong bonds of friendship between Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica and set the stage for a deepened partnership on regional security matters during Jamaica's tenure as chair of CARICOM from July 1st to December 31st, 2025. Minister Alexander, along with the Honorable Sean Sobers, Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, also participated in a plenary discussion during the Heads of Government meeting with His Excellency Valdesi de Urquiza e Silva Jr., Secretary General of Interpol, the world's largest international criminal police organization. In addition, Minister Alexander met with senior officials from the Caribbean Community, CARICOM Implementation Agency for Crime and Security, IMPACS, to discuss strategies to strengthen the region's crime-fighting capabilities. IMPACS, established during the 27th meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government in July 2006, serves as CARICOM's implementation arm for managing its action agenda on crime and security. Minister Alexander also participated in a security technology expo, which served as a practical platform for the exchange of technologies and best practices to tackle rising levels of violent crime, including transnational and organized criminal activity and gang violence across CARICOM.
So there you have it. Roger Alexander, Minister Roger Alexander. Man. Oh, okay. Look. All right, Batman. Look, Batman. Professor Wall Street, I just Googled Soca Warriors t-shirt. Selling for $34.99 USD. $35, Tommy. People didn't understand the thing, you know. $35, 35 US. 35 US.
And sweatshirts can sell for more.
Yeah, who said FIFA finance Trinidad and Tobago 2026 World Cup campaign? Who said that? Who said that, Tommy? Anybody said that? Why? Why? PNM Fox, that PNM miseducation you get. Did a number on you, boy? Let me say happy birthday to Cool Runner. Cool Runner, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Cool Runner.
Yeah, I don't know if it's happy 25th birthday or happy 35th birthday. But happy birthday though. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Look, he talking. How much people buying t-shirt? Eh? And the thing about it, yeah, let me give him a clap. All right. All right, James. Let me give Cool Runner a clap for his happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah, Cool Runner, take that for your birthday. But Tommy, I don't know who wants to go up for the internal leader for the UNC because nobody going up. Let me say this, I go out on a limb here. I want to believe that in the next UNC internal election, there'll be one slate.
There'll be one
I think
slate.
there'll be one. Eh?
There'll be one slate, you say?
Yeah, one slate.
Okay.
You don't agree with that? One slate. You feel like it'll be other slate?
Maybe.
All right. Okay. All right. If you say so. But we know for a fact that nobody in contesting
the party leader.
The political leader. Yeah, because hold on, let me play this. Yeah, nobody in contacting the political leader.
Take it. Where are all the naysayers? Kamala dares leadership challengers. Come and take it. Where are all the naysayers? All those who insisted that Kamala must go. Everybody get pip all of a sudden, only crickets chirping. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has openly challenged any member of the UNC to try and take leadership of the party away from her. But the question is whether any party member would accept this challenge after the UNC's 26-13-2 victory in the April 28th general election. Former UNC MPs Rushton Paré and Dr. Fuad Khan said they would not be challenging Persad-Bissessar for the party's leadership. Persad-Bissessar, the party's incumbent political leader, formally threw down the gauntlet at a UNC public meeting in Penal on July 7th. She said the UNC's national executive, NATEX, will meet this week to decide a date for the internal election of the post of political leader. Persad-Bissessar, who has been political leader since January 24th, 2010, when she defeated UNC founder Bastio Panday in those internal elections, expressed her intention to stand for re-election. I give you notice tonight, I intend to contest again for the position of political leader. Persad-Bissessar got a standing ovation from the assembled UNC supporters when she made the announcement. Persad-Bissessar told any potential challenger, if you want it, come and take it. She hoped UNC supporters would give her the opportunity of leading the party into its new term in government. I will take you there and together we will get things done. Persad-Bissessar repeated, I intend to contest as political leader of the UNC. Any and every member of UNC, you have a right to file a nomination for the position of political leader. In a WhatsApp comment on July 8th, Paré said, I won't be offering myself as a candidate in the upcoming internal election. I've had an amazing decade in public life, and my return to private life has been rewarding so far. He added his focus was on his family and his business. Paré said, Mrs. Persad-Bissessar was given a 5-year mandate by the people of Trinidad and Tobago to lead this country, and that must be respected. He wished Persad-Bissessar and the entire team every success with God's grace and guidance. Former UNC Couva North MP Ramona Ramdial said, there are many factors to support challengers as there are to not. In government, she continued, one does not challenge a winning leader, except if there would be no future election for political leader before the next general election. Ramdial said the UNC political leader post came up for election every 3 years. So if there won't be a next general election in 2028, then by all means, the challengers must step up and out now. Ramdial said, usually internal elections are deferred if too close to general elections, but the leadership is under no obligation to divulge such info really. The Persad Bissessar endorsed Star Slate won all of the other positions on the UNC's NATEX last June's internal elections. That slate defeated the United Patriots slate that was led by Paré. During last June's UNC internal elections, Paré did not rule out the possibility of contesting the party's leadership at a future date. Last year, Paré and 4 other former UNC MPs, Anita Haynes-Alain, Dinesh Rambali, Rodney Charles, and Dr. Rai Raghbir, questioned Persad Bissessar's ability to lead the UNC to victory in the next general election. None of them were chosen as UNC candidates in the April 28th general election. The UNC last held internal elections for political leader on June 26, 2022. On that occasion, Persad Bissessar defeated Khan to retain her post. In a WhatsApp comment on July 8th, Khan said, "No one will contest the post. She will win uncontested. I have no desire to contest any post in the UNC at this time." Khan.
So Tommy, that is it, boy. No, nobody, no, nobody, eh?
Yep. Not a dog, damn dog back.
Dog back. Nick, what? Marsha Walker, Makila Panda, Anita Hayes, and Rhoda Borat should put their names in the hat.
Mm. Which
Put
hat?
what hat? Which hat, Nick? We putting the hat. You mean putting the hat where the hand can reach? Eh? Marsha Walker?
Marsha Walker.
Yeah. Mashup Walker. Mashup. And I had to do an editorial on Mashup Walker talking about, you know, Tommy, you know what has saddened me, boy? You know what has saddened me? Hear what has saddened me? I ain't gonna lie.
What's that to you?
When I listen to people go on TikTok and Facebook and don't do no homework, Marsha Walker talking about that the UNC increased the drinking age and what it could do. Marsha Walker and what did I write something about that? Did I write? Oh, let me see. Boy, there'll be sometimes there'll be so much, eh? Let me see something. Let me see something if I have any. I'll put something here in my
Marsha Walker.
Tom, you have any voice note?
Yeah, we have that.
Go ahead. Play the voice.
I have to cue it up. Hold on.
Let me see if I put something here to myself. Oh, look, I do an editorial here, yes, boy. Let me give all you some insight. I do an editorial defending transparency in foreign exchange allocation. Why PM Kamala Persad Bissessar is right. The case for transparency over academic privilege, the ongoing debate surrounding Prime Minister Kamala Persad Bissessar call for transparency in foreign exchange allocation has drawn criticism from UWI St. Augustine principal Professor Rose Marie Bell Antoine, who argues that such a disclosure represents a weaponization of forex policy. However, a careful examination of the facts reveal that Professor Antoine's position is fundamentally flawed and failed to account for the democratic imperative of transparency and the legitimate concerns of ordinary citizens struggling to access foreign currency. So I'll give you a little bit of inside information there about an editorial that I have already done, but I just haven't put it. Oh, look at here. Benefits, and I'm supposed to put this in oh, folks, it'll be plenty of work. I'm supposed to put this too. Here are the benefits of raising the legal drinking age from 18 to 21. Right? 1. Reduce alcohol abuse. Delaying legal access to alcohol can help prevent early onset of drinking, which is linked to higher risk of alcohol dependency later in life. 2. Fewer road traffic accidents. Trinidad and Tobago has a history of road fatalities linked to drunk driving. Raising the drinking age could reduce alcohol-related crashes among young drivers, especially during holiday and carnival season. 3. Improve public health. Lower alcohol consumption among 18 to 20-year-olds can lead to fewer emergency room visits, alcohol poisoning, and long-term health issues like liver disease. Enhance brain development. The brain continues development into the mid-20s. Delaying drinking helps protect decision-making, memory, and emotional regulation in young people. 5. Lower crime and violence. Alcohol is often a contributing factor in fights, domestic violence, and sexual assault. Reducing access among younger age groups may help reduce those incidents. 6. Positive social messaging. Sends a strong national message prioritizing youth safety and health, potentially shifting cultural attitudes towards more responsible drinking. 7. Stronger school and career outcomes. Youth who delay alcohol use tend to have better academic performance and are more likely to stay on track with school, jobs, or vocational training. So I see Marsha Walker talking about this increase in age for alcohol had nothing to do with it, doesn't benefit. Tommy, so, you know, I don't know, but I think she just
She just had a talk because she have a whole shit face.
oh, really, right? You feel so?
Yeah, she.
Yeah, Marsha. Yeah, Marsha Walker, that's called she. Yeah. Who in these right mind will contest? Nobody in contesting. Or somebody say who sent me this? Caribbean Soul? Yeah. Um Makila Pandey defending Kangaloo.
Mm,
All right, let me play this voice note.
I have a voice note. queued up.
Mr. Washington, you bring up the topic with the age limit, with the gambling and smoking and drinking. This was something I was studying at the back of my head, but I heard Roger Alexander talk it today in the press conference, and it seemed that the government, I don't know how they will do it, but he said that he and Kamala Prasad Bizessa had a talk about the citizen walking with their ID card, having their ID card on them all the time. And that was something I was wondering, because let's say the people who are to carry out the duty when the bill passed, right? It will be the TTPS. Now let me see if the TTPS holds somebody wrongfully, thinking that that person is under the age of 25, but the person is really 25 or 26.
Yeah.
But they judge him on how he looking, right? Now, that boy and his parents could take the TTPS, the state, to court, right, for wrongfully arrest. And that was something I was studying. So it seemed that the government going to bring this legislation or something that every citizen have to walk with the ID card.
I don't see a problem with that. So Makila Pandey defending the president and the UNC woman back Kamala to be re-elected political leader. I think I don't think anybody I don't not I don't think. No one in their right mind should even think about contesting for the and it's just, folks, correct me, it is just the internal election for the political leader, right? Because they already had the NATEC election previously, right? Monica says she wants them to increase the driving age also. What age people does get license here in this country, Tommy? 17?
17.
Yeah, boy, 17, boy. As soon as 17 come, everybody getting it. Everybody. Yeah, Tommy, go ahead and play your voice note if you have it.
And the PNM has found itself in, as the gentleman would have said rightly,
Williams, many years ago, said that every single member of the PNM is a propagandist of the PNM. And the first thing I will do as the new chairman is to ensure that the propagandists of the PNM must be deployed on every nook and every cranny of this country. On social media, and the gospel of the PNM must be known to every single citizen of this country. So the background here is changing. That's
Come with that voicemail distorted.
Joseph, you on Facebook. If you watch this video, when you throw it on YouTube, I have my phone. Watch this video. Tell me how you feel. The man is Zealand.
You hear that voice note properly, you know.
You're not hearing it?
Not hearing it properly. It's distorted. You hearing it?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and play it. Go ahead and play it.
But when I started that interview after that, I was very blown away and I felt very honored to dance my country. I felt audience here and celebrated. For me, it was a reminder how important it is to support and guide your children because opportunities like this can inspire them and others to keep striving for success. A really humbling experience.
There were people who had negative. What would you say to them?
Well, I believe that everybody understands that people have different views when they see something in the public eye. But I think that there was no negative intention behind that moment. Right? And as the husband, I was proud of how he carried himself when he took grace and respect. And I think it's more important to focus on the positive. I mean, a young boy was given a real opportunity to represent and a little leader. And to me, that is what really matters. And that is what I really hope people will remember.
Tommy, you gotta stop that. It's really distorted.
Yeah, done. It's finished.
Yeah, that's really distorted.
Yeah, but the internet, the pastor with the internet search engine name trying to make couture.
Yeah, I mean, I sometimes that you know, anyway, you know. So you know, the thing about it is, I guess the big news today is that the government, right, $7 billion somehow going to be coming back to Trinidad and Tobago without really lifting an arm, so to speak, or a finger, right, because of a renegotiation. Yeah, and that's going to happen. Right? But I wanted to play this. I'm gonna play this before we go.
None of us can debate. None of us can oppose the excellent job that has been done by the previous PNM-led administration. The Tobago Hospital. When we go to Tobago, in our hospital, we receive top-of-the-line treatment. We have a state-of-the-art facility on the hill, excellent views. Yeah, no. That was us. We taking it over there.
Senator Melanie Roberts Rajman, good name,
Senator. Let me just say first and foremost, if you're talking about efficient use of taxpayers' money, and you mentioned Scarborough Hospital, how beautiful it is, say thank you UNC, thank you Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, because it was Kamla Persad-Bissessar and her government that finally finished that Scarborough Hospital where material was.
So there you have it, folks. Folks, put your closing comments in the chat, send your closing voice notes, put your closing comments and your closing quotes in the chat, send your closing voice notes. Right? So, folks, all in all, we see people coming out to trying to defend what we talk about, independent senators. You know, but I want all of you to do some homework and go and look in the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago and realize there is nothing in the Constitution that addresses independent senators. Nothing. Nothing. Right? So, when Monica said money is coming, we don't have to borrow. God is good. All the time, yeah. So when we talk about this independent senator and this independent senator, and there's nothing in the Constitution that says about independent senators. So if the president have to appoint a senator, right, it is a presidential senator. Our 4x printing one of gold. Oh, okay. You know, CV, that is a good point, you know. Our 4x1 just print what a goal. The 3 teams in front and were all disqualified. The PNM didn't even tell them congratulations for running clean. They offered nothing. That's true, you know. All them team in front of them got disqualified because they had some fellas and them taking PEDs, performance enhancing drugs. Yeah. Yeah, and the brilliant idea, Tommy, with respect to increasing the age for alcohol and gambling. Right? For alcohol and these little things, Tommy, these little things adds up, you know. The little things, it's the little things, you know.
They add up.
Yeah, they add up. You can't try to do all the big things for these small little things. You know? Yes, and as I always say, you see the way how you deal with the little things, that's how you go deal with the big things.
True.
Right? The way how you deal with the little things, that's how you go deal with the big things. And you know, I mean, the country finally could breathe, Tommy.
Finally,
the country can breathe. You know, it's not like the men that they left stuck in that pipe, in the pipe, you know. And then there was a promise made to them, and I thought the man would have paid them right away. Yeah, $1 million each. $1 million each. How much of them? How much of that they get? Folks, we're gonna go for a quick break. Don't forget, put your closing comments in the chat and your closing quotes, and send your closing voice notes as well. Stick and stay. We'll be right back. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Don't forget, folks, whenever you join us, share the live, WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook. Subscribe, WZYE TV on YouTube. And you can always reach us at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444.
Also 973-609-6509. 973-609-6509.
Here's my closing comment.
As long as your heart is clean, don't fear anything. Let them gossip. Let them lie. Let them plan your downfall in secret. It won't work. It never will. Because when your hands are clean and your heart is right, God fights battles you don't even see. He shuts mouths behind your back and turns their evil plans into your promotion. They throw dirt on your name, but God turns it into soil, so you grow even more. So stay calm. Keep your peace. Don't chase revenge. Don't explain yourself. Don't lower your standards to match their bitterness. Time will expose the truth. Karma will play its part. Shame will sit in their lap when they see you rise. Just stay clean, stay kind, because heaven doesn't forget. And life always returns what people plant. They wished you evil, but all they did was bless you, because a clean heart always wins. Drop amen if you receive this message and join our community for more. God bless you.
From where I said this is it, the clock on the wall said that's all I like to say, but I got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. For every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Remember, your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become. Go ahead, Tommy.
James Sherman says, you can't go back and make a new start, but you can start right now to make a brand new ending. Like I always say, you, the man in the mirror, you have to become that change you want to see. However, if you look at the mirror and you don't like what you see, you cannot blame the mirror. Never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand up. Love you all. Be safe out there. Stay cool, stay calm, stay focused. And we'll see each other, God willing, on Sunday. Till then, good night.
Thank you, Tommy.
We have some voice notes.
Yeah. You want to play it? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Good night, Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy. I believe the onus is with these people, these establishments that selling the alcohol. Them should be asking these youths or whoever it is come to buy alcohol there for their ID. And if they can't produce it, well, that is the talk done there. They have nothing to get but to carry out with, right? They cannot buy any alcohol without them providing identification to take the drinks out of the establishment. And that is the end of the case. And if it is that they're selling people, underage people that, well, the full brunt of the law should be on them. $100,000 fine and 10 years in jail. Tell me if that's not a deterrent not to sell youth alcohol. Well, have a good day, gentlemen. Professor Wall Street, that audio clip is distorted. But the jinx side is that the propaganda machine where Marvin say he go and send on social media working because the fake pastor who calling the lady and his son, his friends, he bring out the video there to perpetrate the message that was being spread by these PNM sycophants that wrongdoing was done to the child, and the child and the mother refuted all of that, you know. But this wicked man come out and say that. You think he's any good person to have any kind of interaction with? He's too wicked. He said then a certain narrative there that is racism. And he could never be any pastor. Pastor Salad, yes. Have a good day, gentlemen.
That's it.
Okay. Miss Atlanta says, prayer is the bridge between panic and peace. Prayer is the bridge between panic and peace. That's a closing comment. Tommy, I was wrong tonight, eh?
Well, sometimes that's how it is.
I was wrong. And I know Miss Atlanta did that on purpose. Right? To make me wrong. But that's all right. That's all right. I could deal with that. Donna says, good night, Professor. Good night to you, Professor Warshik, Uncle Tommy, and all fans and viewers. Donna, you had a call in one time, you know. Yeah. Okay. All right, let me see the closing comments here now. Oh, hey, look, Tommy. Miss Atlanta, welcome. Hello.
Good night, Wall Street.
Good night, Miss Atlanta. How are you?
Okay, and good night, Tommy and the village.
Yes. Same to you.
Well, I thought I would have had something to say tonight, but it's out of my reach, but good program, nevertheless.
Thank you, Miss Atlanta. Really appreciate it.
Thank
Yes,
you, Mrs.
to me, when I, as my father say, when I have something else to say.
All right, thank you.
Thank you and good night.
Okay, have a good night, all.
Okay, yeah. So we will, all right, so I good then. She called. Amen. Don Alexander said, amen, blessed and safe night to you, both and all viewers. All right, let's go to the closing comment. James Howlett says a bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branches breaking because her trust is not on the branch but on her wings. There we go. Monica Ramke soon said, the eyes of the Lord is in every place. Keep watching the evil and the good. Proverbs 15:2. Be safe, stay blessed. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. Brian Williams says, the little things are a great start to rebuilding a model and disciplined society, which is very much needed at this time more than ever. Stamping out white-collar crime and corruption can only help. It is not going to be easy, but it's not impossible. And Brian, imposter also spells I am possible. Caribbean Soul says you can't change your future, but you can change your habits, and surely your habits will change your future. Thank you, Caribbean Soul. Mr. Intellectual says the people who believe in the truth and say they support it but do nothing to, they are called liars. Okay. Lenora says, happy snooze. Have a fun weekend, everybody. May God Almighty bless you all. Dilek says, I'm saying it again, the most corrupt politicians in TNT is the president. Way boy. Yeah, boy? You so? Suzanne Lalchan says, good night to all. We have to have faith and trust in God. He's providing for our country. Better days are coming, so breathe and enjoy. Thank you, Suzanne. Batman says, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in, day out. Batman, that is true, eh? It's like when I come in here and tell you, no, they're running 5 miles, they're running 5 miles over and over and over. Capitan says good night. Capitan, good night to you. I think Capitan is in boy Japan, Taiwan, some type of thing he is by far somewhere. Oh, Adam Star there, I was over there. James Howlett says, never tell your problems to others because 80% of them don't care and 20% of them are glad you have it. So there you go, folks. We are going to see you on Sunday, same WZYE time, same WZYE channel, but from 1 to 4 p.m. We are out of here. We see you on Sunday. And don't forget, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We out of here. Bye-bye.
When UNC wins, everybody. No more red. No more red. No more red. No more red. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more shame, no more pain. We want to see us win. We want the brides again. No more penny again. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. We don't vouch for you. And we are tired of the bloodshed, tired of the taxes, tired of proposals and all the excuses, tired of no water, tired of stretching at the lot, tired of the eyebrows rippling. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more shame, no more pain. We want to see we win, we want the brides again. No more penny again. Bye bye, me bye bye. Bye bye, bring bye bye. I'm a point of We're tired of the bloodshed, tired of the taxes, of the proposals and all the excuses. Tired of no water, tired of stretching at the lot, tired of the eyebrows rippling. No left foot, right foot, again. No more struggle, no more shame, no more pain. We want to see we win, we want the prize again. No more penny again. Bye bye, penny bye bye. Bye bye, penny bye bye. We don't vouching for you. No more red. 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 No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more shame, no more pain. We want to see the win, we want the brides again. No more penny again. Bye bye, penny bye bye. Bye bye, penny bye bye. We don't vouch for you. Bye bye, penny bye bye. Bye bye, penny bye bye. We don't vouch for you.
That's it.